Hi there! This is Gingersnap, a conversation and a cookie with a creative Mainer. This is episode 95. I'm very excited to be here with VIVA, who I first heard sing at Blue, and I was blown away, and I thought, I gotta get her on Gingersnap. So I'm very excited to be here. We're down here in Portland. And VIVA is a wonderful singer and a musician and a political activist, and you do all kinds of other really wonderful work. So please tell the good folks out there in Gingersnap land about your work and your passions.
Oh, happy to. It's hard to do in just a few sentences or less.
Oh, take your time. Take your time.
I guess first and foremost, I love people. And a friend asked me today, when did you become such a socialist? Which I didn't really realize that I was. But I'm one of those people who I really enjoy problem solving, and when I look at the people around me, I can see a lot of people who are suffering from the same problems, and I am one of those people who gets really frustrated that why aren't we just doing the most efficient thing to take care of everyone?
Yeah.
Because if we have the resources to take care of people and we're not doing it, then what are we doing?
Right.
I also really like to have a good time, though, and I pretty firmly believe that partying is the answer to our problems in the future, because if people party together, then they're, I think, less likely to hate each other for no reason.
If they sing together, if they dance together.
Yeah, they find out they have all this great stuff in common. Yeah. And so it has been kind of my personal mission to make parties that people feel welcome coming to and want to participate in, and where they have an amazing time and meet people that they don't think they have things in common with. And then after the parties, we can get down to the work of talking about what are the problems we need to solve so that we can all do this and have it be meaningful.
What are your What are you needing? Those kinds of questions.
Yeah.
Right?
What does everyone need? And then what do I have that you need? Or vice versa.
Right.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with that. So I have this fantastic band that I like. It's one of those things where I just love the people who are involved so much, and we've been working on a couple of projects. I have this very vast catalog of music that interests me, and which is tough sometimes when you're a creative person. People want to know, what do you do? And it's like, well, let me tell you, I sing in this language, and this language, and this language, but then I also really like to dance, but then I also really like funk music, and then I grew up on jazz, and I want to put them all together. And some people get really overwhelmed by hearing all of those things together. So the project that we've been working on, I'm really excited that we're doing it in the coming year. We have 2 regular gigs a month that are smaller, just the quartet, and then we can do fun stuff like, what requests, but also like the jazz tunes. But then we're also working on bigger shows because we have arrangements for a full 18-piece band.
Wow!
I haven't been able to put the whole band on the same stage at the same time, so that's the goal.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's everybody has a role, and then when you hear the music at that level where it's been coordinated for that many voices to be part of it, and then you add that many different personalities executing it, it's pretty wild. I love it. And every show is a little bit different because we have these different personalities, and we've been working really hard on arrangements for quite a while. So I'm just excited to see how much we can get away with.
That's a good way to put it. Well, as long as you're having fun and people, you're so wonderful on stage. You have such a beautiful stage presence, and you're you have a generous spirit and way about you on stage, which makes the audience feel really, really comfortable, which is lovely. That's a nice thing.
If people aren't there to have fun, then I don't know how to help.
I can't help you. So when did you first come to Maine?
In 1995, my mom and dad moved here, kind of against my will. I was 5 and we were living in Florida where it was very warm, and then we moved here in the winter, and I didn't.
Oh, that's not. It's a tough way to sell a kid on a place.
It took a couple decades to get over it. But now that I'm here, it's one of those things where I kind of keep coming back. Every time I think that I'm going to move or to make an investment in another place, I end up kind of doubling down on the people relationships that I have here, and then it's just so rewarding to stay.
That's great. Speaking of your mom, do you know your first word?
Oh.
And if you don't, what do you think it might have been?
I didn't ask. I'm sorry.
Right.
My dad,
I
asked my dad, and he said, oh, I used to have this list of words that you knew by the time you were like 18 months old or something. He was very proud of it, but then he was like, I'll find that list. He couldn't find the list.
You were an early speaker.
Yes, and I wouldn't stop talking, which they say is a family trait.
Well, my first word was cookie, so that's why I love cookies. And so but we didn't have cookies today. Viva had a request for holy donuts.
Oh,
so
what a nice way to put that. Viva was a nerd with food allergies.
No. So we each have a holy donut. Thank you, Holy Donut. I went to the one on Park because I called the one on Exchange, and they were sold out.
Yeah.
So
they're very popular.
I got
Cheers.
I got the lemon one.
Sweet potato.
Yeah,
glazed sweet potato.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I got it for her, and then I can't remember which one I got you.
You know what I love is being able to eat on camera
and
actually get to eat it. Because every time I do a commercial where there's food, you get to you're staring at this beautiful food, and then you fake like you're gonna take a bite, and it's hilarious. And then you have to put it back.
Yes, I don't believe in that. Yeah, my sister said, you're not actually going to eat it. And
Yes.
I said, yeah. That's why I got it.
I'm sure your sister's a lovely person, but I just found out I don't understand her.
Oh, you love her. She's great. Excuse me. So did you have a car either as a child? I mean, did your family have a car, or did you have a car as an adolescent that was really cool, and if you could get it back, you would get it back?
I thought it was really cool, but no. You know what I did have that was really cool that I wish that I had used more? When I was 3, I got one of those cars that you drive with your feet, like the little pedal cars.
Yeah.
And it was this beautiful maroon. It was kind of like it was kind of like a maroon that would go with this. And it was, like sparkly, and it was a convertible, except that you couldn't put the top up.
Right,
it was so cool. And
there was no top to put.
Yeah, it was just, a sun car, roofless car.
Right.
And I didn't ride it that much, I think because of the work that it took to make it happen. It was just like too much energy for the payoff, but in retrospect, it was so cool. And I wish that I had used it more when I was little enough to fit in it. And I tried to fit
really
in it
cute
later.
in it now, especially.
Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't I?
You should get it back so that you can. Yeah.
And start a trend of Flintstone cars.
It could be on the cover of an album.
Yes. Except I would be in it like this now.
Here comes Viva. You could have a song. Here comes Viva.
Ooh.
In a little car.
Wait, yeah, that's great.
Little car.
I get a jingle? Yes.
Everyone needs a jingle. Okay, on to a subject I love, books. Are there some books that a couple questions. Are there some recent books that you have loved and recommended? And or are there books in your youth that you were sort of central to your growth and who you became?
I'm a book fiend. It's my addiction.
That's a good one to have.
It's such a good one because you can't really overdose on it. I do have to ask for help though when I go into a bookstore. It's like there's a time limit. There's cash only. Usually I need a buddy.
Wow, cash only.
My partner. Oh wait. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about books. But my partner is my book buddy, and he is awesome at picking books for me, which is fantastic. It's just a really neat gift that he has of being able to figure out what I would like. And he's not a big reader, so it kind of means more that he can figure out what I would like. And so we do this thing on Valentine's Day where we each go and find a book for the other person, and we're building a library, and it's like, I know, and it was his idea.
Library.
Weight of my heart. Books.
A literature love library.
Oh, it's so
that's
good.
So sweet.
And so some of the books that I would say are recommended reading from what has come from this.
Yeah.
My Valentine's Day present this last year was The Power, which is, if I were really responsible, I would have found out who the author was. So we're going to pretend that I'm not Googling this. You can see the reflection of my glasses. I'm not Googling it. I just am
While
thinking
we're doing
really
this,
hard.
you guys out there, think about your favorite books.
Yeah. Oh, it's by Naomi Alderman.
Okay.
And the cover looks like this. You can't. Nope.
It doesn't look like that.
It doesn't work like that. It's amazing, though. The premise is that all of a sudden, girls who are hitting puberty realize that they have electricity running through their veins, and they can shock people with it, which can you imagine what that would do worldwide if, you know, half of the population has historically outweighed and overpowered the other half, and that half that has been suppressed for thousands of years suddenly doesn't have to put up with it and can, in fact...
And has a tool.
Yeah. And so the book is, it follows about 5 characters who are in different parts of the world, living very different lives, and not all of them are female, and it's just a look at what would happen globally if that happened. And how would people react? And it's fantastic. Okay. Definitely needs to be read. Another one that he got me. I had a book emergency. Found that for you? He found that for me. Yeah, he's so good. I could go on. You didn't ask for me to go on, but I could go on. But one of the other ones he got me was called The Girl with All the Gifts. Have you heard of it?
No, that sounds great too.
It's it follows the story of this. It's kind of in a post-apocalyptic world. I think it might be for like a young adult audience. And it starts in a school, and it's from first-person perspective. And the girl who's narrating, first you think maybe she has some sort of disability because she and her fellow classmates are all wheeled into their classroom in chairs. They're all like stuck in their chairs, and then you find out that they have been restrained to their chairs. Oh, gosh. And there's a very good reason for it. And it's just an excellent look at what it means to be human. It's a great book. And it's like an action adventure. It's fantastic. The stakes are so high.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's also Middlesex, which I think everyone should read. Yeah. You've read it?
Oh, yeah.
Those are my top 3.
Oh, that's great. Those are good. So, do you have... Oh, this is about you. Oh. So I'll tell you. Okay. So, do you have an album or two, or a song or two that have been sort of a touchstone for you throughout your life, like that you go back to again and again?
Sure. Bless you. This is my dog sneezing in the background.
That was a good
one. We're so proud of your bodily functions. Yes, there have been quite a few. There's one. It's called Cubanismo, and it's just the epitome of like all-star salsa music, if you ask me. And that's an album that I was raised with, and I think my dad took me to go see them when I was like 8. Like we went out dancing. And,
nice! Wow, that's a great date.
Oh, it was. Yeah, yeah. If you have kids, take them on dates so they know how to have fun when they grow up. It's one of those albums that I keep listening to. I mean, I first heard it 20 years ago in the 90s, and every time I listen to it, I get something more out of the arrangements. Just like, wow, the choices that they make. And now, especially now that I've been studying jazz, and I always loved to dance, so I understand this album from a dance perspective, and now that I've been studying jazz theory, I'm just like, oh man, they're really clever. They're really clever in showing it off.
Can you say it again?
Cubanismo. It's spelled like Cuba, C-U-B-A.
I-S-M-O?
Yeah. Cubanismo.
I mean,
N-I-S-M-O.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the guy who organizes that project is Jesus. And then the last name A-L-E-M-A-N-Y, Alemani. It's fantastic. And then I don't know, I'm gonna do a humble brag kind of thing. It's not humble. I'm going to do a little brag. Do it! Because, so it's totally pertinent. The first album that I got when I was a kid, I had to beg my dad for. We were in FYE, or no, it used to be something else before it was that music store in the mall. Hi, sweetie, do you want to come sit with us? Because she's wandering back and forth.
Do you want to go up here?
Yeah, why don't you go sit somewhere. There you go. That's a good idea.
Come here.
Oh, no, she's coming around. Huh. Hey, everybody, yes. This is Lily, who's, just below camera height.
Here, Lily.
Lily, here, come here. Come here. It's time for your muffin. Yeah, there we go.
Ah, yay!
That's all she wants. Oh, she loves Lisa. This dog is not a people dog, and she got so excited when Lisa came in. Look at this. She doesn't do this. She ran and got her toy so that Lisa could see it, and then she destroyed it in front of her because she's very proud.
Hey,
thank you.
Milo, Moxie, look.
Yeah, Lily, you've been such a great host. Okay, thank you.
So this it's so nice to have a doggy on this.
Right? And she's my sidekick. We couldn't leave her out. So I begged my dad for this CD, right? I'm 8 years old, and it had this cartoon on the front of like a wolf in like a pinstripe suit, and he's like got like the wolf eyes, like he just saw a dame walk into the bar.
Yeah.
And I wanted it because of that because of that illustration. I'm not too proud to say it. And my dad's like, I don't think you know what this is. Did you listen to it? And so I did. Well, and it turns out, Lily, go to your room. Go to your room. Thank you. Yeah, it's a great space for you.
Oh, that is like a little room.
Yeah, she'll be happy in there. She can see us. It's fine. So this album, I listened to it, and it turns out it's like big band music. It's like 40s swing. It's the swing revival, and it's Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, right? So you know the album, right?
I know the album. Not only do I know the album, but I saw Big Bad Voodoo Daddy in at Bimbo's in San Francisco. Probably 10 years ago.
Are you kidding?
A couple times. Yeah.
So
and did swing dancing while they were playing.
Ready for the brag.
Yeah.
I got to open for them.
Here I am like, I've seen that.
I know. Well, that was the thing. So I saw them. They came to Daring Oaks Park when I was like 8, which is one of the first shows that I got to go to. And then they came to Freeport. How LL Bean does that thing in the summer. So my mom this has been a thing with me and my mom. We'd listen to this album on the way down to visit her family in Pennsylvania and just like listen to it for the whole 8-hour ride, right?
Oh my god.
And then she'd take me to go see them, and it was like our thing. And when she got her new car when I was 14, I remember like she took me for a joyride, and we're listening to their second album, their live album. And so then they came to Portland. They played at Aura in June of 2018, and I got to open for them. So I put the whole like the 10-piece band together.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god, so fun, and they were amazing. Like, I mean, obviously their show is flawless, but then like the backstage, they came. Scotty Moore, the front man.
Yeah.
Everybody had been in and out of our dressing room, and then all my guys kept having like questions about stuff, and I was just trying to like pack up my stuff, and so somebody knocked on the door, and they're like, "Viva," and I'm like, "What? I'll be out in a minute." And then
it was him.
Yes.
Aww.
And he was just there to just like give me a sweet bit of encouragement of just like, "Hey, I listened to your stuff, and I thank you for being here, and we'll meet again." And I was just like,
oh my gosh,
and,
that's so wonderful.
They were all hanging in the.
Great.
I go outside, and the drummer, oh my gosh, Kurt Sodergren, he's hanging outside with my boyfriend and my dog, and like they're just so that album will mean so much to me forever. But also they as people were just like the kindest. Oh my gosh, the bassist came into the dressing room and he was like asking for a picture with me, and I'm like, "Stop it, you were the sweetest man. Stop it."
Isn't it so nice when musicians who you admire and love actually turn out to be like really, really nice people?
Totally.
It's sort of like a major bonus.
Yeah, because they always say like you don't want to meet your idols because they're always terrible, but they were amazing.
That's like fantastic.
Genuinely good people.
That's fantastic. Oh my gosh, that's a good brag. That's a really good brag.
It's like it's right under my scarf, right here in my heart.
Oh my gosh. So, Viva, if a movie was made about your life, what genre would it be? And who would star as you? Who do you think they'd cast as you, and who would you like to have them cast to play?
Okay. So, I have this thing where every film that I've been in is a sci-fi or a fantasy. And that's true. It's true. Oh, it's true. Every film that I've acted in so far is sci-fi or fantasy. And Lily, I love you so much, and I'm really proud that your jaws are that strong. You have to kill that bone right now. Yes. I don't think it's as loud as we think it is. She's just looking at me like, I'm going to make you proud. I'm going to kill this thing. So that is actually true so far. I mean, maybe one day I'll do the movie that's not sci-fi or fantasy, but I kind of want that to be. I want that to be my life. Okay. Because also I'm a major nerd, so it would be lovely if a movie made about me was in some way a sci-fi, a sci-fi epic, action adventure romance for the ages with pirates. Last through all of them in space. And I actually in Buffalo, New York. There is this band, this is totally relevant, I promise. There's this band, they play at the Anchor Bar every Friday night. It's Bilal New Gravy and his jazz band, and Tribe New Gravy, they're amazing. And so his granddaughter is this girl named Sienna. She was 12 when I met her, which would make her 13 or almost 14 now. Her voice gives me chills. It's just outrageous, the control that she has. And then you talk to her and she's like super grounded, really sweet, you know, and I'm just like really talented, and she looks a lot like me, which is wild because I haven't had the experience of seeing a lot of people in general who look like me, but also like somebody who's young. And, I mean, I think she's gonna grow up and be like just stunning. And so we were kind of joking, but I was kind of serious. Like, I would be happy if she was the person who was cast to play me.
Perfect
in this sci-fi epic.
All right.
I think it's more likely that they would do like a Morgan Freeman type, you know, or an Anthony Hopkins.
They'd have you be a man?
Yeah, probably an old man. Hollywood standard.
No.
I don't know.
A strong, beautiful woman to play you. You can play yourself.
Could try.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so where are you playing next, and how do people reach you?
So come to Tika on Commercial Street in Portland on New Year's Eve. That'll be super fun. And we're doing a thing at Tika, second Sunday brunch and third Thursdays in the evening. We'll have a party. So this is just the first of many, but be there on New Year's Eve. Okay. And do you know Rad Plaid?
No.
Oh, you totally should. Everybody should. So they're great. They're this team. They're recently here from Silicon Valley, but they're both from Florida and very brilliant. It's a husband and wife team that runs this company. They're just brilliant the way that they run this. And their whole thing is, okay, we know what kind of music that you like if you say have a Spotify account. You know what kind of music you like, but how do you find local music that actually reflects your interests? So they have this thing. It's totally free for everyone to use. You link your Spotify account to it. It's called Rad Plaid, like radplaid.com, like rad, but like plaid that you wear. Right. And you link your Spotify account, and when there's music, that local music that is like the music that you listen to coming up, they send you a message just saying, hey, you might want to check this thing out, and here's a friendly map of your area. And
that's so cool.
It's awesome, and it's super easy for me to use because I can just upload that I have a show from my thumbs, which, you know, promoting as an artist is sometimes a difficult thing to get around to. It's usually the last thing that we do after all of the prep. So they're fantastic. Their customer service, I mean, like, I emailed them with, hey, it's doing this thing on my Android. So Sterling, the husband, he went out and bought an Android so that he could reformat this thing for my kind of phone, because I don't have an iPhone. Wow. But
that's really cool.
They're great. Nice. So Rad Plaid is where I will reliably post shows. Yep. I have a website. It's www.vivasensation.com. And we're on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, and I guess Facebook, at C Viva Sing, and that's C Viva Sing. It's an order. Come see me sing.
All right. Thank you so much. You've been Gingersnapped. How do you feel?
Oh, snappy.
All right.
How's it going?
This has been Gingersnap. Yeah. So I'm going to have Viva sing my little ending song. But first, again, this has been Gingersnap. I'm Lisa Redfern. Conversation and a Cookie with a Creative Mainer. There are 5 more before I hit 100.
That's amazing.
So that's kind of
Hope
fun.
You're proud of yourself.
Well, it's just really fun this is my excuse to come to people's homes and studios, because I'm kind of a voyeur, and and just to find people who I dig and go, hey, can I come over and chat with you? So it's kind of a selfish endeavor in a way that ends up being sort of more than that. It ends up being fun and good self-promotion for folks. All right. Thank you. It's weird because I know that reflection is like you can't see our eyes very well, but that's okay. I don't have eyes anymore. All right. See you next time. This has been Gingersnap. All right, let's do it again while the sign goes up.
Yeah.
This has been Gingersnap.